Alright, in today's video, we're doing another modeling video. I am going to be painting this Radio Man here. Pretty cool figure. He came in this tank right here. This is the Sherman. This is specifically the one that has, like, the bulldozer on the front of it. It's not done yet, so I'm not really going to be featuring it much in this video. But in this video, I will be painting this figure. This is the last figure that came in the set with the tank. I might have said this in a previous video. I think I featured these guys before. I don't know. I have a terrible memory. But these are basically just like repackaged figures from another set. There were 3 figures. The original set, I believe, had 7 figures in it. 6 or 7 figures. I don't know. It was either, I know it's a machine gun crew. Yeah, it is 6. It's a machine gun crew, the mortar team, a dude with a giant cannon, and then the Radio Man. So this is half of the set is in this tank here, and then the other half is not. So that's pretty cool. You get, like, if you want multiples, but you don't want to buy the same set, you know, you can get this tank, and you can get your other Radio Man or whatever, and I believe they're in a couple others as well. So yeah, it's cool. So to paint this guy, I think I've shown this before. I think I did a video on, or featured at least, maybe, I don't know, maybe featured the dude that drops the mortar into, like, he drops the shell into the mortar, this guy. I think I featured him in a video, but I'm not sure. I know I recorded a video with him in it, but I don't know if I posted it, so, that's fun. But you're going to want, for the skin tone, tanned skin. For the pants, I use a combination of olive drab, ignore the blue, that's from my airbrush, and US dark green. And then for the jacket, I use khaki from Tamiya. This is pretty good. And then for the boots and wash on the pants and uniform, I use Mud, I think is what it's called. Muddy Brown from MSP. That's Reaper. Same with the tanned skin. This is also Reaper. MSP, it's the same thing. Flesh wash for the face. Silver for the belt buckle and snaps. And then this green here, this is dark green, is what I was using before I got this. So I don't really use the other one as much, but it's still good to have around. It's a slightly, just ever so slightly different color than this one. So if you want to make him look a little bit, you know, not as, like, uniform and clean, you can do that. So I'm going to get to painting this guy. I already did 1 coat of tanned skin on his face, and you can see, it's a little bit grayish, it's a little bit green. My lighting isn't very good in here. I don't have, like, a whole lot of LEDs. I'm working on that, but that'll probably be after the holiday season. Excuse me. So, it's gonna get better, but I just need to give me a second. So, I'm gonna hit his face and hands with 2 coats of skin tone, and I'll come back when that's done. Alright, so I just finished the second coat on the face and first 2 on the hands, and I think that should be a visible difference. I'll zoom in a little bit. That should be noticeable, that difference in skin tone. The first one is definitely grayer. You're going to want 2. Also, I didn't mention, I probably should have mentioned this, I will from now on, or at least I'll try to remember in this video, to mention how much you should thin each paint. So these ones right here, the MSPs, the Reaper paints, they don't need to be thinned at all. These are actually really good. They're, like, pretty much perfect right out of the bottle. You don't need to shake them a lot either. The just really, really good paint. Next, I am going to coat the jacket in the Tamiya khaki. That I would recommend thinning just a little bit. Dip your brush, get most of the water off. I think it'll go on a little bit better. If it doesn't have just a slightest bit of water, the paint will start to lift up as you're painting it. So your brush will stroke the plastic, but it won't put any paint down. It's really weird. I don't know why it does that. I always have that experience with Tamiya when I don't thin it just a little bit. I don't know if my paints are just old because I don't have a lot of Tamiya paints. But yeah, that is something worth mentioning. So now I'm going to paint the jacket. I'll be back. Actually, upon further inspection of this figure, I was just about to paint him, and then I realized he's actually not wearing a field jacket. I don't know why, but he's not. So this guy is actually going to be all the same color for his shirt and pants, which I'm going to do. I think what I'm going to do with this guy, because I want it to be a little bit more interesting, because, you know, it's not going to be tan shirt and green pants like it was for the other two. I think what I'm going to do for him is I'm going to just do this, the US dark green for his fatigues, and then I'm going to dry brush the olive drab from Model Master over it. I think Model Master is Testors, but I actually don't know. But anyway, I didn't realize that. That's my bad. So I'm going to do that, and I will be back. Alright, so again, my lighting is bad, so I gotta play with the lighting a little bit with my headlamp. But I did the first coat on the uniform. Hopefully it's noticeably different. The boots are the color of the primer, and the paint color is on the pants. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, there's a burr on the pant leg right there. Let me clean that, actually. Alright, there we go. Now you can see it's a little bit cleaner. I don't even know if you notice it. It was right there. Like right there. So yeah, that green is on. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. I don't know. It's noticeable in person, so I mean, I'm kind of doing this as like a tutorial. If anyone wants to do what I do, it's pretty easy. So, details matter, you know. But I'm going to do his boots and belt next. Again, I'm going to show it off again. I'll use this muddy brown here from Reaper, MSP. And then I'll come back. I'll put his wash on. And then I'll glue on the gear. And get to painting the radio and stuff. So I'll be back. Alright, so I am done the brown. As you can see, his boots and his belt have been painted. I did get a little bit of brown on the pants, but that's fine because the wash is going to mask that, and it's never really going to be noticeable. By the way, I didn't mention this earlier. I should have. I also forgot to mention as well, you don't really need to thin the green. So I said I would mention how much the paints need to be thinned, if at all, and I forgot. So you don't need to thin any Vallejo paints either. They're pretty good. I may have mentioned this already, but I'll say it again. Khaki from Tamiya, just a little bit of water. It's what I've noticed with Tamiya paints. Usually just a little bit of water and you're good. So, also, I wanted to mention, I'm using this brush. It's bent so that you can... You know, it's really good for painting, like, miniatures that are already assembled, which is kind of how I like to paint. I think it's a little bit easier in some instances. Like, if it's a figure that, if it's a figure that is really, really detailed and you gotta paint, like, all sorts of stuff, it's not good to put it together. But with a figure like this, it's a pretty simple pose. It's not too hard to, it's not too hard to, paint assembled. But, that's where this comes in, too, because this is really good. Like, in the arm here, I can get this in the armpit to paint the belt and stuff. I can't do that with a normal brush. So, pretty handy little thing. Anyway, I will be, next I will do the silver on his belt. And I'm also going to do the flesh wash. I might do it in one, I might not. I don't really know. So, I'll come back. Alright, the paint is still drying on his face and hands. But after that's done, I'm going to hit it with some Vallejo Model Master Basic Skin. I like this for highlighting. I also, again, forgot to mention, this is a wash, so don't thin it. It's already thin enough. I figured that would be obvious, but in case it's not, because I don't know who's watching this, so in case you don't know, you're not supposed to thin a wash. That's why it's a wash. It's pre-thinned paint that is supposed to shade stuff. So, yeah. Next, after that dries, that's probably gonna take about 10 minutes to dry. I'm gonna dry brush this green. Which also, when you're dry brushing, I don't really think you need to. You shouldn't thin dry brush paint. Because the whole point of dry brushing is for the paint to be dry. So if it's wet, it's not dry. So don't wet paint that you're dry brushing with. Thank you. Alright, so the dry brushing on his uniform is done. I'll probably I might make a video once I upgrade my lighting. I might make a video just featuring everything that I've done in better lighting so that it's more visible. But you can kind of see there, it's not very good, the lighting, I mean. But the uniform, the high spots are olive drab and the low spots are dark green. It's pretty cool. I like it. I like how it looks. So I'm going to put his helmet on, which is already painted. It's just the color of the primer is what I've been doing for the helmets. Which again, the primer color is olive from Krylon. It's a spray paint. It's pretty good. That's what I use to prime all of my military models. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing with that, and then I will do the radio. So I'll be back. Also, right before I come back, any dry brushing should always be done on like a paintbrush that's either old and kind of like not as good, or a paintbrush that is just like made for dry brushing. So like this is an Airfix brush that I got, and it's was my first paintbrush, and you can see my hand is shaking actually. You can see if the camera will focus on it, which it's probably not. But it's kind of trashed. It's my oldest one, just kind of happens. But yeah, so it doesn't really matter. Just any brush that's old, not as like pointy, not as precise as a dry brush. It's good for dry brushing. So yeah, that's it. Alright, so the figure is fully assembled and the radio is all together. So this is the Radio Man. I had to break his arm off to put his radio in his hand, so that's fun. But the radio looks good. The figure, I think, looks pretty decent. It looks terrible on this camera because, again, I have horrible lighting. I'm also filming this, like, at this very moment is 7:56, almost 8 o'clock. So there's no light outside. And I've got my ceiling light behind me and my, like, Star Wars lamp on my left. So, you know, that's what you get without the LEDs. So I'm trying to help, but it's not really doing a lot. I'll show this again, a bunch of my stuff. I'll probably make an entire video showcasing, like, all of my model stuff once I get, like, good lighting. But until then, this is all I got, unfortunately, so I gotta make it work. But, yeah, so this guy looks pretty good. I haven't done the highlighting on his face or hands, but it's gonna take the super glue that that I have on him. I just glued his helmet on and had to re-glue his arm so that I could glue the radio. That's probably going to take about 30 minutes to fully cure. So I'm not really going to be getting that wet at all. So yeah, that's the figure. I think he looks pretty good in person. On the camera, he looks horrible, but again, I'll fix that. So yeah, that's the end of the video, really. I don't have anything else to show. Wait, actually, no. I do have something else to show. I have this Italeri Chevy 15 CWT, I believe is what it's called. It's a gun, or it's a personnel carrier. There it is, lit up with the LED lamp so you can see. Here it is next to the mortar man, who's dropping the shell into the mortar. So it's pretty well scaled. It's got a back, this like canopy piece. Oh, and it fell down. This canopy piece can come off, and it's got space in the back for a figure. So that's pretty cool. I'll just, put a helicopter pilot back there so you can see. Looks pretty good. I like it. It probably one of my favorite models that I have, I'm going to be honest. So yeah, that's everything. Everything I have to show. No complete finished product in this video, unfortunately. Everything is I'm working on like 20 different things right now because I want to push out a bunch of content pretty soon. So I'll have a lot of cool stuff coming, but I want to do a video on diorama building. I have this like thing here with dirt and stuff in it, so I'm going to experiment with that, and then I'm going to make a video. So keep an eye out for lots of awesome, epic things, and that's it. See ya.